Welcome to another episode of Racing to Learn. We are a nonprofit that uses radio control to get kids excited about math and science. We've got our ECX Ruckus brushless on the bench today. We had a little bit of a mishap at the BMX track last time around. Basically, this screw here was torn out of the end of the shock rod or shock end here, so it just tore straight out of the RPM mount. And I think part of the problem is that it's a tad too short. So we're going to take a look and grab our caliper here and measure how long of a screw we can use. So let's see here. I'm just going to measure the end, and we can always go a little bit over here. So ideally we'd want to have a 16 millimeter screw. The one that we had in there was a, what is this, a tad longer than that. Looks like a 12 millimeter screw. So that extra 4 millimeters can make a big difference here. So let's see what we've got here. Go ahead and look for 16. That is a tad short. Looks like we've got a 15 here. That could work. And I can go a little bit longer. I can even use one of these cap screws here. These look like 15s as well. Let's see if we have any. Maybe 16 is just an odd length for these. Oh, here's a 16. No, this is a 15 as well. So we might just go with one of these 15s, and maybe we'll use a cap screw because it just has a larger head there. So let's see here. If we can't find anything longer, we're gonna go with these. These 15 millimeter screws. That's what we'll go with here, actually. And this truck, we've kind of got an odd assortment of hex heads and Phillips heads. Unfortunately the Ruckus stock here comes with coarse hardware. You can see that it comes with these coarse threaded screws versus the fine threaded screws, which usually hold into plastic a little bit better and don't strip as much. So actually we'll go ahead and stick with these Phillips heads here just to have a little bit of consistency. And we're going to change the other side while we're at it to these longer screws. Just as a preventative measure, we had one side blow out. We'd probably have the other side tear that screw out as well. You might find when converting or switching over to these fine thread screws that sometimes it's a little bit of a pain getting that screw initially threaded in there. But just be patient, take your time. Get a better angle on this here. And usually I like to thread them in first by hand, if possible, and just hold the screw there. can also finish tightening up that screw by hand if you like. Now, I do prefer the hex hardware. Some people think differently, though. I generally prefer the hex hardware just because you're usually less prone to stripping that that head out, especially if you make sure that the screw head is free from any debris. That's usually the only time you'll strip a hex headed screw is if there's debris in there. Alright. Alright, so we'll get this, or we've got this truck back in operation now. Just looking at the suspension, looks like the suspension is still pretty nice there. Just checking the rebound on the back, it's a little bit slower than on the front. But this truck has held up pretty well to some pretty hard bashing there at the BMX track. We'll bring this out again, let you guys know how it holds up, and thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next time.